What's up YouTube? I want to tell you a story about something that happened to me a couple weeks ago. I've been a little worried about telling you because I'm kind of worried you might hate me afterwards, but I think the story makes some important points, so I'm going to tell it to you anyway. Here we go. So I've always had this feeling like when I see another person with a significant physical disability, that person and I, we sort of have this bond, like we're in it kind of together. Like for example, in the coming zombie apocalypse, I'm going to call up all of my amputee friends and we're going to get together and defend each other. Like, what zombies? What zombies? We're ready for you zombies, alright! So a couple weeks ago, I'm standing at a crosswalk in my neighborhood and I see on the other side of the street, getting ready to cross in my direction, is a guy who uses a wheelchair. So the light changes to walk. Side note, sometimes I wish that there was a special walk sign just for me that looked kind of like this. Now, it turns out that this wheelchair ramp from the sidewalk to the street was, I guess, a little bit too steep. And so as this fellow wheeled down, the footrest on his wheelchair hit the street, the wheelchair stopped, and he kept going. And his sort of paralyzed, kind of limp body just sort of rolled out, and he like landed prostrate on the asphalt. So there's this guy who's paralyzed, who's laying in the street, and I'm walking towards him, and you might be wondering to yourself, Josh, what did you do? And I will tell you, my friends, exactly what I did. I continued to walk by and did nothing to stop or help him. Here's the part where you might hate me, because I know that was like the least heroic thing a person could possibly do. I mean, let's take somebody who's truly heroic. Let's say Sully Sullenberger. Okay, here he is. He's the pilot, as you may recall, who landed that plane on that river, and it was amazing. He saved a bunch of people's lives. But in this situation, I was like the exact opposite of Sully Sullenberger. Like, if I had been on Sully Sullenberger's plane, the equivalent of me walking by the guy who fell out of his wheelchair would be acting like this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. So we're going down. The plane is going down. Fortunately, I have a parachute, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll out. For the rest of you, enjoy the rest of your flight. By the way, I was trying to do that impression facing this direction because I couldn't get this eyebrow on. So, this is a really good disguise. Okay, so now let me tell you why I chose to walk by and do nothing, because it was a deliberate choice. Number one, because by the time I had reached him in the sidewalk, like 5 people had already run from all directions and were like, "Oh my gosh, sir, can I help you?" Number two, because I have a torn meniscus in my knee and I really can't lift. I mean, like, even if I lift like 5 pounds, it really hurts my knee. So I'm incapable of doing anything to lift him up into his chair. Like, I just can't do it. So number 3, the only thing I would have been able to do was just sort of stand there and supervise, which would have essentially meant I was just calling way more attention to the situation because I have one leg and he's in a wheelchair, so it would look like we were staging some kind of protest in the streets. And so in that moment, in that situation, given those parameters, I felt like walking by and letting the other people help him and drawing less attention to him myself was the best possible thing I could do for his sense of dignity. So, did I make the right decision? Should I have stopped? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Let's have a little discussion about it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching. See you next Tuesday. We should hang out sometime. AMPUTEE